Welcome to Edu Skills, OET made easy. Our mission is to make you fall in love with OET, the whole learning process. If you're watching this on YouTube, kindly consider subscribing to the channel. Give us a thumbs up if you like our work and share the video to your contacts so that we reach out to a maximum number of OET aspirants, especially those who are financially struggling to crack OET. All our services at Edu Skills are free of, there are no payments of any sort. And you can find more than 400 recordings of previous Zoom sessions in the description below. Today, we are going to look into reading part C, the latest sample 5 from the OET official website. Thank you, OET, for allowing me to use this material for teaching purpose. OET 2.0 Occupational English Test, subtest reading part C, sample 5. Today, we are going to look into. And if there are beginners, always focus on grade A. And at Edu Skills, we don't recommend getting B grade or 350. Our target is always 450 to 500, grade A. Cellulitis, text to open patient records. This is the text we are going to look into today. And when we want to be able to complete the whole thing, we'll try our level best. So sample 5, 2. Reading strategies, we might glance through today's topic sentence, chronological expression, synonyms, number, and gist. Mainly this is the thing. It's a bit challenging reading because you have many questions based on gist. So sample 5, question 15. I'll make the system to read and you just listen and look at the screen and keep reading the text. So you will have a listening practice as well. You have a hard copy in your hand, you can keep underlining or highlighting those things.
In the first paragraph, we learn that, in the USA, allowing patients access to their own medical records, A has been driven by doctors, B was prompted by targeted research, C was made possible by advances in technology, D happened over a relatively short period of time. In the US, the expansion of patient access to electronic medical records has been accompanied by numerous studies investigating the experiences of patients and clinicians. Starting from about 2000, the use of patient portals to display test results spread rapidly, and in 2010, 100 primary care doctors volunteered to open their free text entries to 10,000 of their patients. By 2019, more than 50 million patients in the US had access to what their clinicians wrote about their medical care. In 2021, the US federal government mandated that patients should have easy electronic access at no charge to all information held in their electronic health records. Today, patients can use readily available patient portals to access all the information a clinician might use to make decisions about their care in both inpatient and outpatient settings, including primary care and specialist notes, laboratory test results, and imaging reports. So, what might doctors in other countries whose governments are in the process of implementing transparent medical records learn from the US experience?
Okay, now coming to the question stem. In the first paragraph, if there are beginners, your first business is to, as soon as you get into the reading part C, you have to number the paragraphs. Okay? Number the paragraphs, because the question will say in the first paragraph, third paragraph, fourth paragraph. So immediately you can launch into that particular paragraph and search for the answers so that you don't waste your time. And the biggest enemy of OET exam is time. So try to defeat the time. Those active learners can answer me. What else I need to highlight in the question stem? USA, okay. Name has to be highlighted. Then what is the main thing? Patients access to their medical records. Okay, that is the main thing now. Okay, here in the options, what are the concept-based words?
By doctor. First is
doctors. Second is research.
researcher.
Third one, technology.
Period
Fourth
of
one,
time.
short period of time or a relatively short period of time, whatever. Okay. Now here, let us go to the name now. You have name here. Do you have any clue there for the answer? Since you said name is, since USA is here, US means same, okay? US and US is same. United States of America or United States. The strategy says, yeah, there is a name, yes. Okay, yes, there is name. So beginning the topic sentence definitely says medical patient access to medical records. Okay, that's the theme, you know. That's the topic sentence. That's the focus of the paragraph.
Yes, Father.
Then you have here.
US federal.
Third.
Yes, federal US. Do you have answer here? Any idea with any connection with any of the options? Now you have to, in the paragraph, what do you need to highlight other things? Other strategies? What are these
Contrast
numbers?
word.
What are these numbers?
Numbers.
Starting from, what are they? Chronological expressions, right? And research spread rapidly. What does it show? This is a question based on the gist. Okay, you cannot find the answer immediately on there. Now, US federal government has mandated. First one says what? Has been mandated by the doctors. Is that correct?
Not.
This says US federal government mandated that patients should have easy electronic access at no charge to all information held in their electronic health records. Means patients should have access to their own medical records, right? So it's not driven by doctors.
No.
Then was prompted by targeted research that speaks accompanied by numerous studies. Studies means
Research.
research.
Search.
Studies means
Search.
research, right? Yeah.
Search.
So
Yes, Father.
prompted and accompanying is not same. Prompted means it started with that, but it was been accompanied means
With that.
yeah, it was going.
that.
So this cannot be the answer. It was not prompted by research. It was prompted by accompanied by the research. Then was made possible by advances in technology. Does the paragraph speak anything about technology and advances or advantages and merits of technology? This was not made possible by advances in technology, right?
Yes, Father.
It doesn't, it's not given in the paragraph. It doesn't speak about technology at all. It gives electronic access to the thing, but it was means this a patient's access to their own medical records was not mandated or facilitated or prompted by technology. It was not prompted by technology. It was not made possible by technology. It was by the mandate of the government, right? Mandate means government rule, government law. Now, what does it mean? 2010, starting from 2000, then going to 2010, then 2019, then 2021.
21.
Time period.
Time expression.
Yeah, it's
Year,
all time
time
expressions.
expression.
Yeah, all time expressions short, starting from and display test results spread rapidly. And again here by 2019, more than 50 million patients in the US had access. By in 2021, the US federal government mandated that patients should have easy access. So what does it speak? It all says short period of time. It happened in a short period of time. Means it started in 2000. By 2021, there was a rule, law by US federal government, and there should be access to every patient. So the whole idea started in 2000. Within 21 years, in 2 decades, the whole thing became accessible to everybody, which means the patient's access to their own medical records happened over a relatively short period of time. This is known as GIST. Maybe this is the most challenging for you until you gain competence in your language. You don't have a direct answer. The whole text gives you the answer. Is that clear?
Yes, Father.
Yes, Father.
Okay. Has been driven by doctors, mandated by, it is not driven by doctors. It's mandated by US government. Second option was prompted by targeted research. No, it was not prompted by targeted research. It was accompanied by, so that cannot be the answer. It was made possible by advances. Technology is not given. And the fourth one happened over a relatively short period of time, means within 2 decades. That is the gist of the whole paragraph. Okay, question number 16. Just listen and read along. It's also a listening practice for you.
16. What point does the writer make about open access medical records in the second paragraph? A. Healthcare organizations decided to implement them more quickly than required. B. Doctors made incorrect assumptions about the effects they would have. C. Their implementation has affected doctors more than patients. D. Pilot studies on them didn't go as expected. Us clinicians anticipated increased workloads as, from about 2000, patients gained access to test results and, a decade later, to visit notes. Primary care doctors worried about upset and confused patients contacting them or asking time-consuming questions during visits and requesting changes to what had been written. These concerns were largely unrealized, and at the end of the year-long 2010 pilot, none of the participating doctors chose to turn off access to notes. In fact, Their healthcare organizations chose instead to expand access to notes written by all clinicians. These results have been replicated in hundreds of provider organizations across the country, and follow-up studies indicate that clinicians' views of open notes become more positive over time.
Okay, now about the question, STEM, what is important? Yeah, beginners, please note, second paragraph. Yeah, so immediately you have to go to the second paragraph. And what point? What point? What does he say? What point does the writer make about open access to medical records?
Open
record.
The options are healthcare organization decided to implement them
Quickly.
more quickly than
More quickly.
required.
required
Yeah. Now concept wise
Health organization.
healthcare
health
organization.
organizations, then doctors,
Doctors more than patients.
Doctors more than patients.
doctors more than patients,
Pilot.
pilot
Pilot study.
pilot studies. Yeah, as we said, if there are numbers, you have to focus on the numbers. In the numbers, focus on to numbers. Now, are there numbers in the text?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
which are the numbers?
2000.
2010
and
2010.
2000, then 2010. So somewhere close by
Yes,
any
sir.
number, do you have any clue to the answer? Just check. Do you have a clue to the answer?
Pilot
Yes.
studies.
Pilot. Pilot means 2010 pilot means 2010 pilot study. So straight away, if you go to the answer, which will be the option?
Yes. D.
D will be the option. Let's check. We are defeating the time. We are trying our strategies. Around here, just read these concerns were largely unrealized, and at the end of the year-long 2010 pilot, none of the participating doctors choose to turn off access to notes. What does it mean? Studies on them did not go as expected. These concerns were not realized, and none of the doctors tried. So the whole meaning means they did not succeed as they wanted. They didn't go as expected. These concerns were largely unrealized. Means did not go as expected. And at the end of the year long 2010 pilot, none of the pilot studies none of the participating doctors choose to turn off cases to notes. Means the target was not reached, the expected things were not accomplished. Okay, so you have again chronology here, the number and the chronology. You have only two numbers. Here, the first one is starting, then the second one. So in the near the second one, you have the answer. Hope it is clear. Going to the 17th question. Again, listen and read together.
17. What is the writer doing in the third paragraph? A. Disputing the results of research into writing notes. B. Making suggestions about the best way to write notes. C. Offering a theory about doctors' perceptions of writing notes. D. Exploring the role that experience plays in writing effective notes. Some studies suggest clinicians are changing the way they document in the wake of open medical records. In one, around 37% of doctors reported spending at least some more time writing notes, but preliminary inquiries using the timestamps from electronic health records suggest that any increase in time spent in documentation is minuscule, fractions of a second. It is likely that doctors learn to think differently about how to document, particularly when new to the practice of open medical records. Such additional cognitive burden may make it feel as if they are spending more time writing, even though direct measurements indicate no change. As doctors become accustomed to writing in this way, such strain may well ease.
Okay, question Shem, what is the main thing?
Third paragraph.
Yeah, what is he doing? Third paragraph. Beginners must see that. Immediately go to the third paragraph. And what is writer doing?
Writer.
Okay, what is doing means what is he telling you? What is he highlighting?
Action
Yeah.
of the writers.
Okay, disputing the results of research into writing notes. Disputing.
Result.
Then next one, making suggestions. These are the concept-based hedging words. Offering a theory. Then exploring the role that experience. Exploring. Okay, that is a concept. The first one says results of research into writing notes. Means disputing the results of research. Second one, making suggestions about the best way to write notes. How should you write notes? Does it say how should you write notes? In your copybook, in your textbook?
No.
or offering a theory about doctors' perceptions of writing notes, exploring the role that experience plays in writing effective notes. How does the experience affects effective notes? So you have to look into the numbers, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, numbers are important.
37%.
What does it say? Some studies suggest clinicians are changing the way they document in the wake of open medical records. This is the topic sentence, right?
Yes.
What does it mean? Some studies suggest clinicians are changing the way they document in the wake of open medical records. Some nurses are changing the way they treat the patients or deal with the patients. What does it mean? See, clinicians means doctors, right? Doctors are changing the way they document in the wake of open medical records. Clinicians are changing the way. Where do you have clinicians means doctors, right? Do you have a synonym somewhere?
Yes, C in C.
Doctors'
C.
perceptions. Clinicians means doctors, synonym. Doctors' perceptions are changing the way they are looking. Perception, changing the way they document.
Changing the way.
Document,
Theory.
document synonym. Do you have in any option? Document.
Writing notes.
Writing notes.
Medical
Yeah,
record.
Writing notes.
you have in all the four. Okay, all the four options you have writing notes. Change the way. Change the way. Do you have any synonym anywhere? Synonymous expression.
Perception.
Perception. Yeah, perception. Doctor's perception. Perception means change the way. Means you how do you look into the things? And do you have any other options? See, it is likely that doctors learn to think differently about how to document. Is it same? Doctors' perceptions of writing notes. Offering a theory about the doctors learn to think differently about. Think differently means perception, right? This is what I said. You should be familiar with the synonymous expressions that you have to practice. Keep a diary of synonyms, synonymous expressions, and paraphrasing. Definitely, as you go on, you will be competent. Okay, then
Yes.
what else? So, what is the answer?
C.
Yeah?
C.
C is the answer. Yeah, because exploring the role that experience plays in writing effective notes. They are not speaking anything about experiencing in writing notes, how many years experience and all those things. Okay, it's all about 37% of doctors report spending at least some more time writing notes. You are spending some more time with the patients. What does it mean? Your perception about the patient care is changing. Earlier, you were negligent. Now you are spending more time with the patients, which means your perception about the patient care is changing. Am I right?
Yes, Father.
Got it? Disputing the results of research in writing notes, not given. Writer is just reporting, not disputing. He nowhere says agree or disagree or I don't agree with that. He doesn't say that. It's just reporting. Writer is reporting. So there is no disputing. Making suggestions about the best way to write notes. It's not given, which is the best way, which is the better way, which is good way, which is bad way. That's not given in the whole text. And for the fourth one, D is exploring the role that experience plays in writing effective notes. It's also not given in the text at all. How to write effective notes is not mentioned. Is that cool? Shall we go forward?
Father.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Next one, listen and read.
18. In the writer's opinion, the policy of open records has not led to an increase in lawsuits because, A, knowing that patients can access their records means doctors feel compelled to apologize for errors, B, having access to information leads people to have greater confidence in their doctors, C, other changes in the US have made legal battles less attractive for patients, D, sharing knowledge means doctors can learn from the mistakes of others. Clinicians worried initially about how transparent medical records may engender adversarial patient-clinician relationships and increase doctors' liability. Trusting relationships are known to diminish the risk of litigation, even when errors occur, and the US's overall experience suggests that open and transparent communication increases trust among patients, families, and clinicians. The movement to encourage disclosure and apology when problems arise, which has spread across US states in recent years, provides further reassurance. Studies indicate that increased transparency, disclosure, and apology may decrease the chance that patients and families will file lawsuits. Furthermore, insurers state that open medical records do not seem to increase the risk that patients will allege malpractice.
In the question statement, what is to be highlighted?
Opinion. Writer's opinion.
Writer's opinion. Okay.
Because reason.
Negatives and
Because reason. Okay. Anything else? So does the
Not
question
is-
say what type of language is used here?
lead to on.
Led to. What sort of language is it?
Cause and
Cause and
effect.
effective
Cause and
language.
effect. Cause and effect. Which means they are asking for a cause. So here, first one, what is the concept? Means doctors feel compelled to apologize. That's one. Then next, having access to information leads people to have greater confidence. Leads to. Do you have a similarity with the question stem?
Yes, Father. Because of
Yeah. See, leads to greater confidence in their doctors. Okay, let's see. Other changes in the US have made legal battles less attractive for patients. Then sharing knowledge means doctors can learn from the mistakes of others. Means sharing knowledge among doctors will help. Sharing knowledge among doctors, is it the policy of open records? Policy of open record says records should be accessible to the patients, right? So sharing means doctors can learn from the mistakes of others. Is the open records purpose is to teach the doctors?
not.
No. So that can be eliminated, right? Yes. Let's check. Now we will analyze the question. Now you see this is a question. Policy of open records not led to an increase. This is very important. Okay, led to an increase and not led to an increase. Not led to an increase in lawsuits means what is the meaning? There is so having leads people to. That's what I said. If you know led to the cause and effect language, only this option has lead to or led to or leads people to. That expression immediately, that must be the answer. Okay, let's leads to and led to is synonymous, right? Leads people to and led to is synonymous. If there is a synonymous, that's very important. Let's check. Greater confidence in their doctors and increase. Now, having access to information. Policy of open records. Having access to information. Option B. Same synonymous expression is policy of open records. Led to decrease. Led to decrease means diminish. Led to not led to an increase means led to decrease. Not led to an increase. Not increase means decrease or diminish. Synonymous. So you should write down these expressions and understand what is the meaning, especially when there is a negative expression not that gives the opposite meaning. So you should be very careful. So the policy of open records has not led to an increase in lawsuits means, what is the meaning? The policy of open records has led to a decrease in lawsuits. These things you have to write down and practice. Unless you reach this competency, you'll not be able to crack OET. That comes gradually by practice. This is how you have to write down. What does it mean? So ultimately, you know what is the answer, right? B is the answer. Even without looking into the text, we are answering. Let's check. See, greater confidence in their doctors means led to decrease, diminish the lawsuits is synonymous. Greater confidence means there is less lawsuits. If they have confidence, they will not file case against you, right?
Yes, Father.
Yes.
Father.
See, cause and effect language, you see, policy of open records, decrease in effect is decrease in lawsuits. Policy of open records, because information regarding patients are accessible to patients, there is a decrease in lawsuits. That's a cause and effect language. Let's check. Policy of open records, same meaning, having access to information, greater confidence in their doctors. So policy of open records means having access to information, which leads into greater confidence in their doctors. These things led to effect, diminish in lawsuits or decrease in lawsuits. These are the expressions used in the text. See, trusting relationships are known to diminish the risk of litigation. Diminish the risk of litigation means not to increase the lawsuits, means decrease. It has not increased. Okay, again, you see, may decrease the chance that patients and families will file lawsuits. Means decrease the chance, less lawsuits. Furthermore, that open medical records do not seem to increase the risk that patients will allege malpractice. They will not allege more malpractice because they have greater confidence in the doctors. So first option, knowing that patients can access their records means doctors feel compelled to apologize for more errors. Does it mean? No, they are not compelled to apologize for more errors, but there is less lawsuits. Patients are happy with them. So no need of apology. Second one, having access to information leads people to have greater confidence in their doctors. Cause and effect language is given in the stem and in the right option. Other changes in the US have made legal battles less attractive for patients. Nothing to do with the text. The text doesn't speak about any other changes US government has made about legal battles, and legal battles is not our topic here. Sharing knowledge, as we said, sharing knowledge among doctors has nothing to do with patient open records, policy of open records. Is that clear?
Yes, Father.
Yes, Father.
Okay, then I think we'll give a little bit of information to the beginners. What is cause and effect language? Others maybe it is familiar, but we'll reflect once again. Industrialization is the cause of global warming. Global warming is the result of industrialization. Industrialization leads to global warming. All these three sentences mean the same. See, industrialization is the cause of. What is the cause?
Industrialization.
Industrialization. Effect?
Global
Global warming. They have put the upside down. Global warming has come in the beginning of the global warming is the result of industrialization. So what is the cause?
Industrialization.
Effect is
Global
warming.
warming.
Industrialization leads to global warming. What is the cause?
Industrialization.
Effect?
Global warming.
Yeah. If you really understand this, you will definitely crack many of those questions, cause and effect language questions very easily without even reading the passage. Okay. So
Yes.
you should understand clearly what is the cause, what is the effect. They will change positions. You see, cause is here first, effect is next. Here, effect first, then cause next. Here, if a cause first, again, effect next. This one question, somebody had asked me for a clarification. Again, since it is from these questions, we'll just have this is from a different text. This also from official OET site. Just listen.
15 in the RST paragraph. The writer questions whether adult ADHD should have been recognized as a disorder at an earlier date. B. ADHD should be diagnosed in the same way for children and adults. C. ADHD can actually be indicated by neurological markers. D. Cases of ADHD have genuinely increased in the USA. The American Psychiatric Association (APA) recognized attention deficit hyperactivity disorder ADHD as a childhood disorder in the 1960s, but it wasn't until 1978 that the condition was formally recognized as affecting adults. In recent years, the USA has seen a 40% rise in diagnosis of ADHD in children. It could be that the disorder is becoming more prevalent, or, as seems more plausible, doctors are making the diagnosis more frequently. The issue is complicated by the lack of any recognized neurological markers for ADHD. The APA relies instead on a set of behavioral patterns for diagnosis. It species that patients under 17 must display at least 6 symptoms of inattention and/or hyperactivity. Adults need only display where.
So what is the important things for beginners? You have to
Paragraph.
first paragraph and writer questions. Yeah, writer is
Right.
questioning something. He is neither agreeing nor disagreeing, but he is questioning something. Adult ADHD should have been recognized as a disorder at an earlier date. Then next one, ADHD should be diagnosed in the same way for children, and this is speaking about diagnosis of ADHD. This is speaking about recognizing, detection, and then this is speaking about diagnosis. ADHD can actually be indicated by neurological markers. Indicators. What are the indicators? And cases of ADHD have genuinely increased in the USA. Cases have increased. So recognition here at earlier date, diagnosis, indications increased in the USA. Now the question is writer questions something. The first statement speaks about recognized attention deficit disorder as a childhood disorder in 1960s. But it was until 1970 that the condition was formally recognized as afflicting adults. This recognized comes here, right? Recognized.
Yes, sir.
But does he question the recognition? He doesn't question it. He just makes a statement, factual
Yes,
statement.
sir.
There is no questioning. But for example, now I am telling you, I am from Karnataka. Some of you may be from Kerala, right? Whenever there is corona or COVID cases, you can hear a lot of numbers from Kerala. So we had an argument recently. You see, I told the Kerala people, now you see, Karnataka is very safe. You say Kerala is having a lot of COVID cases. Maybe the highest, they said 90+% recently. The outbreak of the new variant was 90+% cases are found in Kerala nationally. Then they argued saying that no, we cannot agree with that. It's because we are doing a lot of tests. You don't do any tests, you don't identify the cases at all. But in Kerala, we are doing a lot of tests. That's why we have more cases. What does it mean? Do they agree there are more cases in Kerala? No. Means we are questioning. Let's just read the same tone here. In recent years, the US has seen a 40% rise. It could be that the disorder is becoming more prevalent, or as seems more plausible, doctors are making the diagnosis more frequently. Now, which is correct? disorder is becoming more prevalent, or doctors are making the diagnosis more frequently. Now, the problem is here. Is it the real fact that disorder is becoming more prevalent, or that doctors are making the diagnosis more frequently?
Diagnosis more frequently.
Okay, so the issue is complicated. So what does here means? All these four areas should have been recognized at an earlier date. Does it speak anything about an earlier date? Now, first statement says it was recognized in 1960. Childhood disorder was recognized in 1960s, and 1978 adult disorder was recognized. It doesn't speak it should have been diagnosed in an earlier date, so we would have more patients. It's not saying that, right? ADHD should be diagnosed in the same way for children and adults.
No.
Wrong.
The APA relies instead on a set of behavioral patterns of a diagnosis. It specifies that patients under 17 must display at least 6 symptoms of inattention and or hyperactivity. Adults need only display 5.
5.
This is just opposite, right?
Yes, Father.
Yeah, they cannot be diagnosed in the same way. ADHD can actually be indicated by neurological markers. The issue is complicated by the lack of any recognized neurological markers. ADHD can actually be indicated by neurological markers. It says the ADHD can never be recognized by neurological markers, text says. So what is it? Just opposite. Just opposite. Yeah. So what should be the answer?
D.
Yes,
Cases of ADHD have genuinely increased in the USA. Means he is questioning. He is not making a statement. He is questioning. He is saying, no. Cases have not increased only because now doctors are making more and more diagnoses. That's why we have more numbers revealed. The cases themselves have not increased, or else COVID cases are present even in Karnataka and all other states of India. But Kerala has more of tests. So we have more numbers revealed. Does it mean that other states don't have COVID strains? No, other states also have. So it is questioning. Writer questions the cases for ADHD have genuinely increased in the USA. They say that there was a 40% rise in increase of ADHD in children. It could be that the disorder is becoming more prevalent, or as seems more plausible. See, as seems more plausible. How do you say? കൂടുതൽ സാധ്യത. More possibilities for what doctors are making the diagnosis more frequently. He's questioning. The real issue is not that we have more ADHD cases, but the issue is that doctors are making the diagnosis more frequently. Is that clear?
Yes, Father.
Yeah. If you don't understand writer questions, this is very, very important. If you don't understand, you cannot get the answer. Writer is questioning the genuinity of the statement that 40% increase in the cases. No, it's an increase in the diagnosis.
Yes.
Yes, Father.
Yeah, now I'll give something I promised. Beginners. Now beginners can respond, okay, even if there is some distraction. Cool. Do you know what is scale expressions? Hello, beginners. Yes.
No, Father.
Should I teach? This is the basic. Active learners may not require this.
Please, teacher.
Yes, Father. We need.
Yeah, scale means search for clues. It means if there is a scale expression in the question statement and one scale in the text, you will be easily identify the answer without even reading the text. Scale means all, most, many, a few. A few means some. Then few. Few means 0. All is not most is not many is not a few is not few. There are few students in the classroom means there are no students in the classroom. Few means negative. A few means some. There is little water in the well means there is no water, it is dry. There is a little water in the well means there is some water in the well. Now, other scale expressions could be all, most, majority, minority, a few, few. This way also they can give you the expressions. Okay, most after most, you can see majority. See, all means 100. Most means 90 plus or 80 plus, depending on the situation. Most of the students are interested in studies, OET studies. Majority means 51 plus. Minority means anything less than 50. A few means more than one anything. Few means 0. Now scale: boiled water, hot water, warm water, cold water, ice. So boiled is not hot, hot is not warm, warm is not cold, cold is not ice. This is scale. And the extremes, all and never, those extremes are known as absolute words, which we'll learn later. Okay, some other expressions like always, often, most of the time, sometimes, seldom, rarely, and never. See, always and never are known as the absolutes, the other and this end. And later on, when I teach you elimination, you will understand if in your answer options, any of the absolute words are used, immediately you can eliminate those options. They will never be right. Other expressions, I'm giving you an idea. Scale means this type of gradation. Most important, important, most important, not important. Important is not significant. Significant is not insignificant. Insignificant is not negligible. These are the scales. See here, the scales, expressions, all these, almost majority, many, a few, few. Boiling hot, warm, cold, ice, more than 2, at least 2, a standard. Okay, statement is many foreign students do the OET test in their home countries. Reading passage says most overseas students sit the OET test in their country of origin. Is it same?
No, Father.
No, Father.
They are not same. Many means not most. Foreign students, you see synonyms or synonymous expressions. Foreign students, overseas students. Sit, do. The synonym of sit in this sentence is do. In their home countries, in their country of origin. See, these are known as synonyms or synonymous expressions. And most of those questions will use such synonymous expressions or paraphrasing, which you should understand. Now, come on here. Can somebody read this question?
Most children born will develop hepatitis B if their mother. Option A has hepatitis B envelope antigen. Option B is a chronic carrier of hepatitis surface antigen. Option C has hepatitis B envelope and surface antigen.
Okay, now do you have a scale expression here?
Yes, Father,
The-
most.
Most. Now you see how simple it is. Now this is the paragraph. Now in the question stem, there is a word most. And other strategies say when you have numbers or percentages, you have to look into the percentages. Now we will just highlight the numbers, percentages, okay? And let us see which is the most. Any other percentages here? 3%,
3%.
9%,
9%.
7%.
7%.
70.
Hmm.
70 to 90.
So here you see mother to child transmission. This is the focus of the paragraph. Risk associated with hepatitis B in pregnancy. Mother to child transmission is the focus of the paragraph. Now the question is most children born will develop hepatitis B if their mother. Now which is most now here among these highlighted percentages?
70 to
90%.
72?
90%.
Okay, 70 to 90%. So that comes here in this sentence, right?
Yes, Father. Yes,
If you
Father.
read this sentence, what does it mean?
The risk of perinatal transmission is associated with the hepatitis B envelope antigen, SBSG status of the mother. If a woman is both hepatitis surface antigen, that is SBSG and SBSG positive, 70 to 90% of her children will develop hepatitis B.
If a woman is both hepatitis surface antigen and HBeAg O positive, of her 70 to 90%, most of her children will develop hepatitis B, both. So these scale expressions help you to identify, okay, if a woman is both hepatitis B. So the question is, most children born will develop hepatitis B if their mother has hepatitis B envelope antigen, means 1, is a chronic carrier of hepatitis surface antigen. C as hepatitis B envelope and surface antigen. Which will be the answer?
C.
Yeah.
Both.
Only this
Both.
has and, right? Both means only here there is and, correct?
Yes, Father.
So immediately you can find the answer. Both means C. Their mother synonymous expression is woman. If a woman, envelope and surface antigen, both, and synonymous expression is both. So you see 70 to 90% most. This speaks about hepatitis B envelope antigen. Second one speaks about is a chronic carrier of hepatitis surface antigen. That speaks only about one and one. But only C option speaks about both. So you have 70 to 90% as the clue or the strategy immediately to reach the answer.